Hello and welcome back to another episode on exciting careers as electrical engineers in power systems industry. In today's episode, we are going to go over opportunities as power plant engineer. What does this particular role entail? How you can make an entry as a power plant engineer? What are the requirements and qualifications that employers are seeking? And what are the growth prospects as a power plant engineer? Power plant engineers are responsible for maintaining, monitoring, designing, and optimizing electrical assets in a power plant. These electrical assets primarily include generators, transformers, control systems, switchgears, motor control centers, raceway systems, different types of VFDs, relays, and several other equipment. This role also includes troubleshooting efforts, updating procedures, developing maintenance plans, and contributing to the overall design of power systems. You may also be required to help with compliance with respect to different codes and standards, participate in data acquisition, report preparation, training and development, and equipment testing activities. Basically, you'll be owner's engineer. You'll be the resident engineer in a power plant. And what that means is that you'll be the go-to person for issues related to maintenance, operations, any type of troubleshooting, any technical input that electricians would be requiring, and making strategic decisions with respect to the overall power system design. You'll probably have consultants and contractors working for you, and these consultants and contractors would probably be specializing in several different aspects of design, maintenance, and operations. But in most of these cases, you'll be the single point of contact. Because of your in-depth understanding of the existing power system network and your know-how of the procedures, the design criteria, and preferences of your employer, you'll probably find yourself acting as a liaison between these consultants, contractors, your in-house operations and maintenance staff. You'll most likely find yourself as a middle person who'll be coordinating efforts between the consultants, contractors, and the operations and maintenance staff. This role also requires you to have good interpersonal skills. You may have to plan different types of outages, schedule maintenance breaks, so that different types of capital projects, maintenance projects, improvement projects can be slotted in during those planned shutdowns, and that requires coordination. So any effort, any initiative that can increase the uptime and reduce the downtime will be considered a big win. Earlier on, I mentioned that there are planned shutdowns for maintenance and capital projects, but if you can find a way in order to squeeze the timeline of those shutdowns, basically increases the uptime. A lot of times that requires creative thinking, but you should never compromise on execution of the complete scope and safety. Modern power plants are equipped with high-end SCADA systems. SCADA stands for Supervisory Control and Data Acquisition. As an electrical engineer, you may have inputs and communication links to different plant assets. A good functioning SCADA system will require continuous monitoring of all the critical points in the power system network. You'd be required to analyze this data from time to time, especially when there is some sort of abnormality or a fault scenario. You may also be asked to report on different types of trends and suggest improvements and recommendations in order to mitigate different types of risk. In order to thrive in this role, you need to have a strong technical background, understanding of a wide variety of electrical equipment, designs and processes, codes and standards, latest industrial trends, problem-solving skills, troubleshooting skills, and communication skills. You'll also need to know how to maintain and leverage professional relationships, both internal as well as external. So those are some of the responsibilities and the skill sets. In terms of the qualifications that employers are looking for, a lot of employers also prefer EIT certificate and especially the PE license. After completing 4 years of undergraduate engineering coursework in the US, when you pass the FE exam, and for electrical engineers it's typically FE electrical and computer exam, you can get EIT certificate from your local state. Electrical engineers with power systems background typically take PE power exam, and after you pass the PE power exam and meet the experience requirements, reference requirements, background checks and whatnot, you can become a licensed professional engineer in the US. As you probably know, I help electrical engineers in the US prepare for FE electrical and computer exam as well as the PE power exam. I run popular exam preparation programs for FE electrical and PE power, and I've also written several books on the topic of FE electrical and PE power. Feel free to visit my website studyforfe.com for more details on this topic. A lot of employers employers recognize that power plant engineering roles are very specific, and a lot of them actually have new graduate training programs as well. So you can start your career as a power plant engineer by getting your foot in the door through an internship, summer work term, core work term, or by getting an entry-level position as a new graduate. They'll typically rotate you in different departments because, as you can see, it is a multifaceted, multi-dimensional role where you'll have to basically develop relationships in different departments, and employers recognize that. There are a lot of employers who have 2-year or 3-year training programs where every 6 months they will basically rotate you through a different department. You may find yourself working in the maintenance group, you may find yourself working in project planning, in asset management, in compliance, and even in procurement or safety. Once you complete this training, not only have you learned a little bit about the roles and responsibilities of each and every department, but hopefully you'd have also networked with the individuals, and you can count on these personal connections as you progress in your career as a plant engineer. And in the last few minutes of this episode, I'd like to discuss the growth prospects and opportunities for power plant engineers. Now, the fact of the matter is that there's a general trend in the industry to move more and more towards renewable. Any natural gas, fossil fuel, or coal-powered plant encounters a lot of environmental and political hurdles. And same can be said for nuclear power plants. In fact, nuclear power plants also have an additional risk of huge capital investment that is tied to them. They are multi-year projects. And over the course of the last few years, the general trend has been towards renewable. If you're working as a power plant engineer in a natural gas, fossil fuel, coal-based, or a nuclear power plant, do your skills carry over to the renewable space? The answer to this question is that at least partially they do. Because the interesting thing about being a power systems engineer is that we work with a pretty standard set of equipment, processes, and design element. And if you know the basics of transformers, motors, codes and standards, cables, equipment specifications, protection and control, the skill set is actually very portable. Having hands-on experience troubleshooting, monitoring, maintaining equipment, participating in safety standards will carry over in any industry. Obviously, there will be a little bit of learning that you'll have to do in every new role, but for the most part, the fundamentals remain the same. You'll have more than a general sense of different types of issues that are encountered in a broad power system network, and you can leverage that. In fact, you can take that into project management and engineering management roles as well, because within your role as a power plant engineer, you would have encountered multiple different types of challenges and issues, and being exposed to a wide variety of challenges gives you a leg up as a project manager and an engineering manager. So in my opinion, if you like to work in the field, have good interpersonal and technical skills, then power plant engineering roles can be a really good fit for you. If you're already working as a power plant engineer, I'd love to hear from you. Please share your thoughts, comments, questions, suggestions, any observations and insights in the comment section of this video. And if you're somebody who is interested in this type of a role or have any questions related to electrical engineering opportunities within the power system industry, please submit your question in the comment section of this video.